The Oakland Raiders 2-2 in preseason. Kansas City 3-1. Back to receive 48 and 88. That is 88 there. Carlos Carlson, and also back there with him, Hatnot and Gantz. He's the middleman though, and there's the man who'll put it in play, Ray Guy. Crowd of between 55 and 60,000 come to their feet. Hope you'll enjoy it wherever you are this afternoon. The Raiders and the Chiefs, this great old rivalry underway. A high short kick. It is taken over at the 15 by Gant. At the 20, 25, and he gets out to about the 29-yard line. Number 90, Willie Jones, is there on the specialty unit to make the tackle. Steve Fuller going in. And there is the offensive backfield. Fuller, Reed, and McKnight. Henry Marshall, J.T. Smith, Tony Samuels, good tight end there. The big change here at center, Charlie Anay taking over for Jack Rudney, who is missing his first game after playing in 144 consecutive. Ball at the 29-yard line. Steve Fuller played at Clemson his second season. And the handoff going to about the 33-yard line, and actually getting to the 35, Ted McKnight. Monty Jackson, number 42, making the stop. The Raiders probably in this 3-4 to begin with today. Matusek, a former Kansas City star. The linebackers for the Oakland Raiders, Hendricks, Millen, Nelson, and Barnes. Matt Millen, a rookie from Penn State. Big test for him. Hayes, Jackson, Davis, and Owens, a good secondary. From the 35-yard line, 2nd and 4 from the 36. Double tight end set for Kansas City. Tony Reed battles his way out to about the 39-yard line. Jeff Barnes, the right linebacker, 56, making the play. Kansas City likes to establish the run.
I think a key is going to be whether Charlie Anay, the Kansas City center, is going to be able to handle Reggie Kinlaw. Jack Rudney is out with an injury. Last year, Rudney did a super job against Dave Pear.
We're going to see 3 tight ends in here now for the Chiefs. Samuels, Beckman, and Williams. 3rd and about half a yard at the 40-yard line. Getting the call is Ted McKnight. And it looked like he got over the 40-yard line. We'll wait till they place it down. Leading the way is Bob Nelson for the Raiders on the tackle, number 51. And the Chiefs think they've got it, and the indication is first down. Oh, the Chiefs in their red and white, moving from right to left. The Chiefs 3-1 in preseason. Were 7-9 last year, their best finish since 1973. Gene, we figure it's about 114 on the AstroTurf down there, and it really could take its toll later on.
Well, as I said, in the 4th quarter, it's going to really tell. Kansas City's a much younger team, and they're going to get the benefit of it.
There is Reed. Might have gotten a yard. Not much. A fine play made by Dave Browning, number 73, for the Raiders. Fuller, the top rusher in preseason, and he won 5 of 6 games when he attempted less than 20 passes in 79. He played at Clemson, a very bright young man, was a Rhodes Scholar candidate. And there is the hierarchy of the Chiefs and 54-year-old head coach Marv Levy there with a headset. 2nd down, let's call it 10. Fuller's going to put it up for the first time. Over the middle, and it is complete to Henry Marshall at the 40, 35, and all the way to the 32-yard line. Monty Jackson made the stop. A big pass from Fuller to Henry Marshall here in the early going.
Jay, that was an outstanding catch by Marshall. We haven't seen Kansas City throw the ball very much in preseason, but they're coming out throwing the ball very well now. Oakland dropped back to what appeared to be a zone defense, and once Marshall caught that ball going over the middle, there was no one to touch him for a while.
Samuels and Williams, a double tight end set. We're looking at Steve Fuller. Gives it over to McKnight, and McKnight is down to the 25-yard line before he is ridden down by Burgess Owens, number 44. McKnight did an excellent job, of course, for this Kansas City club from little Minnesota Duluth. Picked up on waivers in 77, used to be an Oakland Raider. This has been a good drive, a time-consuming drive.
like they did last year, this Kansas City team's going to really take it to them.
That's McKnight again going over the left side, and Monty Jackson made the tackle. 31-17 is now a final on that Houston-Pittsburgh game. The world champion Steelers winning on this opening Sunday of the 61st season of National Football League play. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. Henry Marshall played at Missouri. He's number 89. This offensive line without Rudnay in the middle has done a good job up to now. First and 10 at the 20. And Fuller, play action, looking in trouble. This is what he likes to do when he has to. He can scramble, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. He had 109 yards during the preseason, did Fuller. The tackle made by number 56, Jeff Barnes. His running ability helps him.
The Raiders confused Fuller on this play. Normally inside their own 20, they're going to play man-to-man. They changed up on him, and they went to a zone defense. Dropped back, and he couldn't find his guy. Now he's running. This is one thing that a veteran club will do to a young quarterback in particular, Jay. They'll change up the defenses and get him confused.
And we can expect to see a lot of changing defenses from Oakland. Fuller giving it over to McKnight. McKnight in at the 15, down to the 12-yard line. A twisting, turning run. Mike Davis, the strong safety, 36, on the play. And right there we saw the ability of Ane to do an excellent job.
Well, that's been the big question mark today. Can Ane take that job and handle the job that Jack Rudnay is out from? We get an outstanding run here, though. This is a beautiful move.
That's Ane, 56. Jay Randolph along with Gene Washington at Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium. No score with 9:14 left to play in the first quarter. Kansas City driving, 3rd and 2. Handoff to McKnight. McKnight getting across the 10-yard line, and a first down for Kansas City before Reggie Kinlaw, number 62, made the tackle. McKnight, number 22, and Reed, 32, in the backfield for the Chiefs, who have taken the opening kickoff and moved it to this point. It is a first down at the 8-yard line. Happy to have you wherever you are around the country watching this action as the Chiefs and the Raiders do battle on this opening Sunday of the NFL season. That's McKnight at the 5, and he is in for a touchdown. This crowd sitting in the sun in 95-degree heat, applauding the play as Bob Simmons did an excellent job at left guard, allowing McKnight to roll left for the touchdown. So Kansas City is on the board first, and a very impressive drive, Gene.
Well, that was an example of the way Kansas City's been blocking all year with their run blocking. McKnight made a super run. I think he wants to show Oakland that they made a mistake in letting him go, Jay.
The extra point by the first-year man, Nick Lowry, who has taken over for the veteran Jan Stenerud, who has been let go. And it is Kansas City 7, Oakland nothing. Kansas City Chiefs have scored. It took just 11 plays as they went 70 yards. McKnight going in from 7 yards out. Lowry, we mentioned, has taken over for Jan Stenerud. Stenerud, at 36 years old, let go by the Chiefs. That must have been a tough decision. There's McKnight, who has the touchdown. Back, 22, Whittington, and Matthews, 43. Ira Matthews at the 2, up over the 5, at the 10. Great play at the 10-yard line by Mike Williams, the tight end, 83, who came downfield. There he is, Williams, making a sensational play. We're going to show you that touchdown again. Quite a run from 7 yards out for the score.
But, Jay, take a look at the blocking. We can't see it on the screen, but the left side of that Kansas City line does a super job of blocking against Oakland. Kansas City is fired up, and this gives you an indication right here. Look at that.
Put his head down and stuck it in there and went for it, didn't he? All right. At quarterback, Dan Pastorini. He's got Kenny King and Van Egan with him. The handoff going to Kenny King, and King is bumped hard by Frank Manamaliana. Let's take a look at this Oakland Raider club. With Pastorini coming over from Houston. King is very quick. Van Egan, of course, a lot of experience. Branch, tremendous receiver. Bobby Chandler got him in the trade from Buffalo. Casper, one of the best. Shell, Upshaw, Dalby, Marvin, and Lawrence. It'll be second down and 11. And a whistle and too much time.
I think what happened is Kansas City gave Dan Pastorini a different look than he was expecting. He was trying to audible out of it, but didn't have enough time.
There's the referee today, Pat Haggerty from Denver, Colorado. A look at this Kansas City defense. Still Parrish and Bell. Very talented people there in that defensive line.
Delay of game. Offense.
Manamaliana really came on well last year. Spaney quite a hitter. This is a Kansas City club that is young but excellent defensively. Barbaro, a real key in the secondary for them. Second down and 16. The ball back at the 6-yard line. Pastorini over the middle and almost caught and almost intercepted. Intended for Kenny King. The pass a little high, and Manamaliana almost came away with it. We mentioned the referee is Pat Haggerty from Denver, Colorado. Working with him, Dave Moss, Walt Peters, Vern Marshall, Jim Poole, Dick Freed, and Bob Lewis. It's going to be third down and 16. We have 7:25 to go in the first quarter. Kansas City's leading 7-0. And we've got Still, Bell, Lindstrom, and Parrish all up there now. Dombrowski is in for the Chiefs as they go to a nickel defense. Chandler and Branch are both set wide to the left. Pastorini from his own end zone. Throwing. Out it comes to Kenny King. King cuts at the 15. Still going. Look at the quickness we talked about. Out up to about the 17 or 18-yard line. Short of a first down. Thomas Howard, 52 on a saving tackle.
See, that was an outstanding run by Kenny King. The key. Pastorini is dropping back. They have double coverage both on Branch and Chandler. He picks up Kenny King out in the flat. King gives us an example of the speed that he's going to bring to the Oakland offense this year.
Well, he is very, very quick indeed. We've got a timeout here with 7:08 remaining in the first quarter. Kansas City leading 7-0 over the Oakland Raiders. Punting time for Oakland, and that means Ray Guy. Guy averaged 39.5 during the preseason. Back to receive 86 J.T. Smith. Smith went 88 yards on a return against Oakland last year. Wobbly kick coming up. Penalty marker down. J.T. Smith is hit at the 45-yard line. 40-yard punt, 4-yard return. The stop made by Otis McKinney, number 23, and they're going to bring it back. Running into the punter is the initial indication. Mike Williams, number 83, I think, is the man who caused the infraction out there, Gene.
Well, this was really a silly mistake on Kansas City's part, Jay. They had Oakland backed up. They were going to get the ball with good field position. Now Oakland has a chance with first down.
Specialty teams are so important.
Well, they are, and they've been very good for Kansas City. That's a big part of their team. The guys are very fired up. They're very aggressive, and they want to do all they can.
Running into the kicker. First down.
That's the call, an automatic first down at the 12-yard line for Oakland. And the faithful here at Arrowhead Stadium on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Moving a little bit there is Tom Flores, 43 years old, a native of Fresno, California. Once was a quarterback with the Kansas City Chiefs. Also played at Buffalo. Flores in his second year. 7-0. Chiefs picking up 5 first downs as they drove downfield to score. In 11 plays, they went 70 yards. McKnight on the touchdown. Pastorini, 96 career touchdown passes, but 139 interceptions also. He gives to Mark Van Eegen, and Van Eegen is over the 25. At the 27-yard line, Van Eegen hit by Manamaliuna, number 54, and Thomas Howard, number 52. This young Chief defense under Marv Levy improving constantly, doing an outstanding job. They won from Cleveland 42-0, down Minnesota 24-10, beat St. Louis 20-10 before losing to Tucson 31-21 to the 49ers during the preseason. 2nd down and 4 from the 29. Van Eegen again, and out over the 35, first down. Van Eegen doing a nice job. Frank Manamaliuna making the tackle. Bring you up to date on some scores. It was Pittsburgh 31-17, a final in that one. Terry Bradshaw surpassing the 20,000-yard passing mark. New England 34-17 over Cleveland. Harold Jackson caught his 500th reception in that one. And a final, Buffalo 17, Miami 7. Big win in Buffalo today for the Bills. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Pitch back to Kenny King. And King stopped right along the 40-yard line. Wrapped up by Manamaliuna, number 54. Herb Christopher also in there. Manamaliuna, all-rookie team last year, and has done an excellent job. There was a look at Christopher. Final score, the Giants 41, St. Louis 35.
Jay, Kansas City has a swarming defense. Look at them. They have 3 or 4 guys on the ball all the time. Jay, one thing that's going to be significant, Gary Green was hurt and is out, and he's replaced by Paul Dombrowski, number 46.
Dombrowski now at left corner. 2nd down and 7. Pastorini lofting it downfield, complete to Cliff Branch. And Branch has a first down at the 41-yard line. The catch made in front of M.L. Carter.
Pastorini's dropping back to throw. Cliff Branch makes an outstanding pass route here. Comes back, takes the ball high. They caught Kansas City in the man-to-man defense. And, Jay, there's nobody in football that can cover Cliff Branch man-to-man.
That was the 321st reception in his career. First down for the Raiders. Green Bay upset Chicago 12-6 this afternoon. That's a final. Tampa Bay 17, Cincinnati 12. Another final score. Little play action. Pastorini throwing, and he had to get rid of that ball just a little bit too early. He was going for Bob Chandler, who was in the clear in front of Dombrowski. They're going to be working on the youngster over there at the corner.
Well, Dombrowski has played corner and safety for Kansas City, and he's the guy that you want to work on. You get a guy out there who's not familiar with playing on the corner, you get some of those burners over there, and he's going to be a little nervous.
Minnesota 24, Atlanta 23, and San Francisco came from behind. Final in that one, 26-23, San Francisco over New Orleans. 2nd down and 10. The delay goes to Kenny King, and King gets just inside the 40-yard line. Thomas Howard, number 52, on the play. Howard played at Texas Tech, has great speed, and he has moved from the right side over to the left. It's 7-0 if you're just joining us. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go. First period of play. Kansas City in the lead as you look at Tom Flores, took over for John Madden. Kansas City now with a nickel back in. Eric Harris, the extra back, on 3rd and 8. The obvious passing down. Over the middle, all alone, there's Casper. First down at the 19-yard line. Casper. 33 career touchdowns, ranked 2nd among the AFC tight ends with 57 catches last year, and he was wide open, Gene.
Get a look at Dave Casper running the pass route against 44. This is Harris from Canada, supposed to be one of the top cornerbacks around, but just doesn't make it on this play.
the Raider receivers, and a look at the receptions. That's out of the 79 season. First down at the 19. The Raiders moving. Getting the call is Van Egan. And he cracks into about the 15-yard line before Art Still, number 67, makes the play. Van Egan, number 3 draft choice back in '74. There's Marv Levy. Levy loves to play controlled football. And is as we indicated earlier on, very brilliant gentleman. Some of the crowd sitting in here in Kansas City. Very, very warm day indeed. Van Egan's career stats. Pastorini going and completing. Touchdown, 85, Bob Chandler. Chandler catching his first pass as an Oakland Raider. And that trade with Buffalo for Phil Villapiano looks very, very good indeed.
This was an outstanding pass and catch. Dan Pastorini dropping back, expecting a man-to-man defense when they're inside their 20, but they changed up and went to a zone defense. Cliff Branch going to the sideline, pulled the strong safety away, which opened up that hole momentarily. Pastorini got it in there. Outstanding throw.
Chandler getting the starting shot today, along with Cliff Branch. Chandler also does the holding. He played at USC, of course, for John McKay. Chris Barr picked up this week as they let Jim Breach go. Barr out of Penn State kicks the point. Timeout here. Kansas City 7, Oakland. We should look around. We can get a good look at her. They're mighty pretty ladies. Thank you. All right. We're ready to go. Back to receive. Carlos Carson. 12 plays. 88-yard drive. Guy kicking off. Score tied at 7. That's Carson coming out at the 10, the 15, outside. He's bumped at about the 17-yard line. Derek Jensen, number 31, in to make the tackle. The touchdown a moment ago for the Oakland Raiders, a dandy toss from their new quarterback, Dan Pastorini.
This is as fine a read as you will ever see in a football game. Like I said before, they were expecting a man-to-man coverage from Kansas City. Pastorini read the zone, and you don't have but a split second to make a decision. He made the right decision and made a great throw.
Both clubs on the board here in the first period. 2:12 left. Fuller on first down. In trouble. And going to go down at the 10-yard line. That's Big John Matusak, the former Houston Oiler, former Kansas City Chief, popping down on him. Matusak played at Tampa, but many people may not remember that he also went to the University of Missouri. He was a number 1 draft pick. Was with the Chiefs, of course, in Houston. Also was with Washington, and has really found a home out in Oakland. Kansas City has Buddy, Rourke, and Walters now at the guards and center offensively. 2nd and 16. Tony Reed getting across the 10 to about the 11-yard line, tackled by Reggie Kinlaw.
We mentioned earlier in the game, can Charlie Anae handle Kinlaw? He didn't handle him at all on this play. Kinlaw shed him, made the tackle single-handed.
Giants 41, St. Louis Cardinals 35.
A minute and 25 to go. First quarter, Kansas City, they scored first. Oakland has come back. It's 7-7. Carlos Carson coming wide to the left. Henry Marshall and J.T. Smith also in there. 3 wide receivers. Whistle. Too much time. That's the indication from referee Pat Haggerty. The coaches don't like to see that called. I mean, that's what you have preseason for, to get rid of those kind of situations. But a little indecision, apparently, in calling the play. And number 81, Tony Samuels, will come back in. Samuels and Williams are rotating for the Chiefs with the plays, along with Carlos Carson some of the time. Carson is now out, and Samuels is at tight end with Henry Marshall, 89, and J.T. Smith, 86. The wide receivers. 20. Tony Reed at the 10. And tried to cut it outside. A nice open field tackle by Otis McKinney, 23, who was in there as an extra back for the Oakland Raiders. Oh, it'll be a punting situation coming up.
Bob Grubb in punt formation for Kansas City.
There's Ira Matthews dropping back. Bob Grubb, number 1, played at Duke. The top punter in the National Football League in '79 with a 43.6 average. He's the man who took Gerald Wilson's job here. High pass, he handles it and gets it away. A wobbly kick. Matthews at midfield. 45. And penalty marker goes down. Coming down to make the play, Cal Peterson, number 50, a linebacker. McKnight seems to be shaken up along the sideline. He's being attended to. 39-yard punt, a 5-yard return, and the discussion of the officials. Clipping is the initial indication. And it will go against Oakland.
Personal foul. Clipping. 23 on the return. TV timeout.
And as Pat Haggerty has said, has a groin injury, we're told. We showed you a few moments ago that he was limping along the sidelines. Gary Green is out also for the Chiefs at left corner. Pastorini is 3 out of 4 for 57 yards and a touchdown. That 16-yard pass to Chandler. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pastorini's got time, throws, and it's a bad throw intended for Kenny King. Low and behind him. Looks like he had the time, but just made a bad toss, Gene.
He wanted to go downfield to one of his outside receivers. What happened is Kansas City went into what we call a double zone defense. They brought their corners back up. They sent their safeties deep. So Pastorini had to go to a secondary receiver and just made a poor throw.
Pastorini, in his first regular season game for these Oakland Raiders, has already thrown a touchdown pass. The 97th career TD for him. Going to put it up again. Swings it out to Van Egan. Over the 40 to the 44-yard line. A pickup of about 2 or 3. Don Parrish. Parrish is excellent against the run, but handled that little swing pass well. Had some help from Gary Spaney. Parrish 61, Spaney 59. The gun sounds. That's the end of the first quarter here at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs and the Raiders. 7 welcome us. And Gene Washington, it is a great pleasure to welcome you to NBC, and we look forward to your comments throughout this 1980 football season.
Thank you, Jay. It's nice to be here, and it's especially nice to be up here in the booth on a day like today.
Sure it is. It is 3rd down and 6 at the 44-yard line. The Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs tied at 7. Pastorini, lots of time, throws incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kenny King a little bit high, and it bounced off his fingers. It looked like Cliff Branch might have also had a chance to get to it.
Jay, I think the pass was intended actually for Branch. I think King got in the way and put his hand up. Branch had made a super move and was open on the inside and waiting for the ball to come to him, and King knocked it away.
You've had that happen when somebody stuck his hand up there when he shouldn't.
And you go directly to the sideline and say, don't do that again.
Back to receive J.T. Smith, who played at North Texas State University. And Ray Guy. Two best punters in all of pro football probably performing here today. Guy and Grubb. Ooh, this is a dandy. And there is no effort to make any return here as he just boomed it right out of the park. We've got a timeout. We're early in the second quarter. Oakland and Kansas City are tied up here. Bruise on the groin area, but he apparently is all right. McKnight and Reed in the backfield with Fuller. That was a 56-yard punt a moment ago, and Kansas City 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. McKnight And penalty markers go down. McKnight getting out to about the 25, where Dave Browning, 73, and Monty Jackson, 42, made the tackle. And now we'll see what the discussion is on the call with referee Pat Haggerty and his crew. Holding is the indication against the Chiefs. Final scores: Minnesota 24-23 over Atlanta. It was San Francisco 26-23 over New Orleans. Green Bay upsetting Chicago 12-6. Tampa Bay 17-12 over Cincinnati. The world champion Steelers 31-17 over Houston.
Holding, 81, offense.
Call against Tony Samuel, number 81. New England 34, Cleveland 17. Buffalo defeating Miami 17-7. Delay to Tony Reed, and there's not much there as Matusak smelled it out very well. There's Big John. Final score: the Giants 41, St. Louis 35. Phil Simms had a tremendous day. In the first quarter, Baltimore and the Jets are scoreless. Philadelphia leading Denver 7-0. Jaworski to Harold Carmichael, a 56-yarder. Seattle and San Diego, couple of field goals. Herrera and Bernishka, 3-3. Detroit 10, LA 6, early in the second period. Billy Sims has scored his first touchdown. On second and 20. Down he goes. Ted Hendricks put the pressure on him that time. Reggie Kinlaw also. Hendricks, number 83. We'll look at it again.
Kinlaw is going to be a big factor all day. Great play by Hendricks, blitzing from the outside linebacker spot.
They call him the Mad Stork over the years, and he is a fine pass rusher indeed. Was at Green Bay and Baltimore, originally a number 2 draft choice. There's Kinlaw in his second year out of Oklahoma. Third down and 26. McKnight. Or was it Reed? It was. Reed getting out to the 10-yard line. Hendricks making the tackle, and a punting situation coming up. You're just joining us. Gene Washington is alongside. I'm Jay Randolph. We'll show you that last play as Oakland jammed it up well.
Look at Ted Hendricks stringing out the play, makes the tackle. There's not much you can do when you're backed up in your own end zone here, Jay, except run the ball, make sure you don't make a mistake and give a turnover.
Exactly. There is Bob Drupp, a free agent. Was with the Jets and at one time played in Calgary up in the CFL, and he booms one out of here. And that is Matthews back at the 37. Gets away from one man. Clipping is going to be called, I believe. The tackle made by Jerry Blanton. But flags down back at the 37. A 52-yard punt, a 9-yard return, and it's going to be clipping against the Oakland Raiders. If you're just joining us, McKnight from 7 yards out. Let's look at this play again.
Here's number 35, Dwayne Osteen, just acquired in a trade. Jay, he practically tackled the guy. Those are the kinds of mistakes that you can't afford to make.
It's amazing how many mistakes occur on these specialty units. And Pat Haggerty marches it off. Let's listen in.
Little Eagles to the hand. 35 on the run back.
Take a look at this, Jay. Number 35 coming in from the corner of the screen. Look at that. Look where his hand goes. Yep. Right around the neck.
Wayne Osteen on the infraction. We'll be back with more from Kansas City in just a moment. Number 35, Dwayne Osteen, picked up from the Rams this week in a trade, and here's the call against him again, Gene.
Osteen wants to show that he belongs on this Raider team. He has a reputation as being an aggressive player.
He's a defensive back, had 4 interceptions last year. Arthur Whittington, 22, is in the backfield now with Van Egan, 30. And Pastorini at the controls. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. That's Whittington, and they were looking for him. Gary Spaney, the right inside linebacker, just came across and really ripped him. There's Spaney. Went to Kansas State in his hometown of Manhattan, Kansas.
But Art Still blocks everything up. There's no place to go. There he is, number 67. What a physical specimen he is, Jay.
Yeah. Art Still, an All-American at Kentucky. This is a good defensive unit for the Chiefs, no question about that. Pastorini has not thrown a great deal in this ball game yet. 5 out of 9 for 70 yards. He was very effective, though, in leading them on that drive for the touchdown. He's ready to put it up now, and he comes out and completes it to Branch. Branch at the 41, the 42, the 43. Nice move, Clip. Frank Manamaliuna, number 54, on the tackle. And you saw Mr. Branch at his best right there. That's 322 career interceptions. That's why he's been in 4 Pro Bowls.
Kansas City's back in their zone defense. Pastorini drops back. He spots Branch at the sideline. And he has a strong arm. That may be a 10 or 15-yard gain downfield, but that's about a 35-yard throw to the sideline.
Ball is just over the 45-yard line. If you're just joining us, we had McKnight score first from 7 yards out. Kansas City took a lead 7-0, 8:21 of the first quarter. Pastorini to Bob Chandler to tie it 7-7. We've had somebody sent off right now, and I believe it's an illegal equipment call against Henry Lawrence. That's one of the new rules this year. The officials can send a player out. You must run a play before you can come back. And out it comes to Mark Van Eegen. And Van Eegen is cut down as he got across the 45 by Thomas Howard, number 52, Herb Christopher, 41. On Thursday morning, Gene Washington, you and I spent the day with the National Football League officials, and they talked about that illegal equipment rule.
Well, I think what they're trying to accomplish, Jay, is to make sure that there are no unnecessary injuries. If a pad is exposed, someone could get hit in the eye with it. And
Lawrence, number 70, is back in now. Dalby with Upshaw and Marvin, Lawrence and Shell for the Raiders up front. 2nd and 9 at the 47. Van Eegen to the 47-yard line. Gary Spaney again, a one-man gang on the tackle. Spaney, a number 3 draft choice. He's been bothered a little bit by viral pneumonia, but you wouldn't know it today.
The 3-4 defense is designed so that the linebackers make most of the tackles, and Gary Spaney was a leading tackler last year. I'm surprised, Jay, though, that Oakland isn't running at the 3-4 defense. That's the best place to run. Not off tackle or sweeps, but run right at it.
Spaney and Malamaniuna come out, and we've got Lindstrom in there and an extra defensive back, Eric Harris. 3rd and 8, and Kansas City in the prevent defense.
98, 84.
Like Pastorini might have audible, penalty marker goes down. Pastorini going to go down too. Well, he may have audible. There was a problem. I think one of his backs may have been in motion. That'll be one of the calls. And then they're calling it an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Referee Pat Haggerty says incomplete pass, but we still have the flag down there.
I think what happened, Jay, is that Pastorini's arm was moving forward. If your arm is moving forward and you drop the ball, it's an incomplete pass.
Well, let's see. There's Pastorini. The rush is on, and it was moving forward. It's
illegal
an excellent
motion.
call.
Offense declined. 4th down.
Illegal motion is declined.
What happened, Jay, was Pastorini was going to the audible. He wanted to get Branch deep. Ran out of time.
Ray Guy is on to punt it. We have 10 minutes left to play in the first half. Kansas City and Oakland, 7-7. Ray Guy will put it up to that man, J.T. Smith. Guy, 56 yards on his first punt of the afternoon. 10 men on the line for Kansas City. And he gets it away and hangs another dandy down here. Ball hitting and going into the end zone. Oh, it'll come out to the 20-yard line as we're inside the 10-minute mark, and you can tell how hot it is here. Pretty good battle. 52-yard punt. Oakland and Kansas City. Prime time baseball in September, and the reason is obvious. Those races are really heating up. Tuesday night at 8 Eastern. Many of you see Los Angeles and Houston. Houston taking a doubleheader yesterday, and others will see the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Philadelphia Phillies. Primetime baseball Tuesday night here on NBC, 8 Eastern time. Don't forget to check your local listings for the game in your area. Ray Guy now, 2 punts, averaging 54 yards. New backfield men, Hadnot and Gant. That's Hadnot, 48, running the football. Matusak, 72. Kinlaw, 62 on the tackle. James Hadnot is a rookie from Texas Tech. He led the Southwest Conference in rushing in both 78 and 79. Had 3 touchdowns in preseason. Good-looking prospect, Gene Washington.
Kansas City, Jay, is going to their 2 tight end offense here. I think what they want to do is try to establish some momentum.
They've got Samuels 81 and Williams 83 in there. It is 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Earl Gant out at the 25, cuts it up, made a nice move. Lester Hayes had a shot at making the tackle and didn't bring him down. Gant, who played at Missouri, a top rusher at Mizzou in 77 and 78, showing his stuff.
He must be a strong runner because Lester Hayes is one of the strongest defensive backs in the league. This guy just brushes them off the way Jim Brown used to.
He's not quite as big as Brown. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Hope you're enjoying the comments of Gene Washington. The great number 18 of San Francisco is working with us today. Uh-oh. Ted Hendricks came close to picking that one up, and if he had, he'd have danced right down the sideline for 6. He has 23 career interceptions, and he's tough out there on that left side.
This is a good example of what an experienced linebacker will do for you. Ted Hendricks has seen this play maybe 5,000 times. He saw that quick drop of the quarterback 3 steps, and he knew the ball had to go outside.
I think they see those in their dreams sometimes. It was J.T. Smith who was the intended receiver. It is 2nd down and 10. Kansas City and Oakland tied at 7 from the 33. Fuller in trouble. Scrambling. Didn't have anywhere to go, though. Down at the 31-yard line, Dave Browning, number 73, and Matusak putting pressure on caused the play to break up out there. Number 73 is Dave Browning from Washington. He's intense, and he's quick, and he is tough. San Diego now has taken a 10-3 lead over Seattle as Phelps has thrown a touchdown pass with 12:36 remaining in the 2nd period. Fuller has been sacked 3 times this afternoon. Fuller throwing on the run. Got him out. Oh, he dropped it. James Hadnot at the 49-yard line. Whoop. Oh, boy. The rookie has to hate that.
That's a tough spot to be in, Jay. I did that a few times in my career. The thing that Oakland must do is stop Fuller from scrambling and running upfield. If they can keep him throwing the ball, I think they're going to be in much better shape than when he comes downfield with that ball tucked under his arm.
Hadnot was a tight end in college his first couple of years. Ira Matthews is going to take the kick from Bobby Grupp. And another dandy off the toe of Grupp. Matthews at the 24. And he slips as he got to about the 38-yard line and went down. Number 87 over there was Stan Rome, the wide receiver. 48-yard punt. 8:19 remaining to be played. We're in the first half. Kansas City and Oakland.
Can't even fill it out.
The Chiefs, number 62, as the handoff goes to Kenny King. And King is out to about the 33-yard line. The stop made by Gary Spaney. Take a look at this middle linebacker, the rookie from Rutgers.
He makes a good play here, Jay, but the thing that is interesting to me is that Oakland is able to gain 2 or 3 yards on a play like this, and this is going to set up their play-action passing, and that's what Al Davis has been looking for, the play-action bomb.
Kenny King, who played at Oklahoma. 2nd and 6 from the 33. That's King in motion, and the give to Van Egan. Malamaliuna smelled it out nicely with help from Jerry Blanton. Malamaliuna number 54 and Blanton number 57. Van Egan now 5 carries for 18 yards. The clock is running with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. The score tied at 7-7. The Oakland Raiders with Dan Pastorini. at the 37. Van Egan gets the call, and he doesn't get the first down. They really shoved it up in the middle. The rookie free agent, Mangerio, was in there, along with Art Still. Mangerio, 62, Still 67.
This call surprised me. I thought that they'd go for a pass. They didn't have the nickel defense in there. They were going to have probably a one-on-one situation. I think this is a little conservative call for Dan.
J.T. Smith set to receive the punt that will come from Ray Guy. Guy's had back problems, number 1 draft choice, first punter ever picked as a number 1 pick. It's a stat there that is outstanding. Fine punt. Ball hits at the 2 into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. 6:03 remaining. We're in the first half at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. The Chiefs and the Raiders, 7-7. Jay Randolph and Gene Washington in Kansas City. Marv Levy on the right and Tom Flores on the left, 7-7. McKnight for Kansas City at 8:21 of the first from 7 yards out. Lowry the point. Pastorini to Chandler, 16 yards, 2:21 of the first period. Chris Barr got the point after. 7-7. First down 10 at the 20-yard line. Kansas City. Pitch comes back to Tony Reed. Reed coming back the other way. Down he goes. The play was made by Reggie Kinlaw, and a big play it was. We're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KRON-TV, Channel 4, San Francisco.
There's Reggie Kinlaw, played at Oklahoma, number 12 draft choice. He's been bothered a bit by a hand injury. He can play in the 3-4, the 4-3, and play rather well. He did on that play, Gene.
He's a guy that we said earlier in the broadcast that we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to. Kansas City's going to have to pay more attention to him.
Yes, sir. That was a 62-yard punt a few moments ago. Fuller going to put it up. Throws and complete out of the backfield to Tony Reed. Or was it McKnight? We'll wait till they unravel at the 22. McKnight is 22, and he caught 30-79.
This is a nice pass for Kansas City. They've been throwing this type of route all year. It's just a little drop pass to the halfback coming out of the backfield. It's a good pass against the zone defense, which they're going to see a lot of in this field position.
Millen and Nelson were there on the tackle. Wingman set right on 3rd and 9. Fuller throws, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Carlos Carson, the rookie from Louisiana State. The coverage by Otis McKinney, who was in there as the extra defensive back. And with 4.5 to go, as Fuller comes off, it will be a punting situation for Kansas City. There was the intended receiver, Carlos Carson. He's got great speed. You know, we were talking about him earlier today. In a game against Rice, he caught 5 passes, all for touchdowns.
200 yards, 5 passes. And the next game, he caught a touchdown on his first reception.
We saw Ira Matthews. There's Bob Grupp. Here's his punt. Matthews looking up into the sun at the 38. He has it. Gets away from 1-2 men, but then is finally tumbled down by Cal Peterson. And Stan Rome also downfield. A 40-yard punt that time for Bob Grupp.
When Kansas City gets in this position where they're facing that nickel defense, you got a tough time finding a guy to throw to. Fuller buys a little time by scrambling. Makes a pretty fair throw, but that's a tough catch to come up with by 88 Carson.
Well, you would say that, but in your day, you'd have made that catch more often than not. First and 10 at the 38-yard line. Pastorini under pressure. Over the middle, tight end Casper out to the 44-yard line where Matamaliuna made the stop along with Howard. Matamaliuna 54 and Howard 52. Some scores for you. Baltimore has taken the lead over the New York Jets. At 6:34 of the second period, Burt Jones ran it in from 12 yards out. And it's LA 13, Detroit 10. Cullen Bryant has just scored for Los Angeles. 9:45 of the second period. San Diego 17-3 over Seattle. 5:50 left in the second quarter at the Kingdome. 2nd and 4. That's Mark Van Eegen. Van Eegen over the 45-yard line. Stopped by Dino Mangiero, number 62. You know, Van Eegen, I don't think has gotten near the credit he deserves. A number 3 draft choice in '74. He's led Oakland in rushing the last 4 years. He's out of Colgate. And Van Eegen is a fellow I think that, well, when you need somebody to get the job done, he'll do it for you.
The thing that he does best is cut back. That's what Oakland likes to go back to.
3rd and 1. Double tight end set. There's Van Eegen, and I think he got the first down. Art Still stalled him, number 67, at about the 49, but first down for Oakland. There are the stats on Mark Van Eegen, and here's a look at this big back.
One thing I had mentioned earlier was that I was wondering why Oakland wasn't running the ball straight at the 3-4 defense. Here they do it. The last few series they've done very well just running the ball straight at them.
Van Eegen has come out of the game, and we've got 1st and 10, and Pastorini throwing to Casper, and he makes the catch. Penalty marker down back at the 45-yard line. Casper took it at the 42, was hit immediately by the strong safety, Herb Christopher, number 41. Holding is the indication against Oakland.
Whenever there's a flag thrown back there, you know it's holding. Everyone accuses Oakland of holding a lot, but I don't think they hold any more than anyone else. I think they have one of the all-time great offensive lines. Gene Upshaw, Art Shell, those guys do a super job.
Holding. Number 50, offense.
Call goes against Dave Dalby, the 9-year veteran from UCLA. Back at the 39-yard line, 1st and 20. Todd Christensen, 46, Kenny King, 33. In the backfield now, it's Dan Pastorini. Blitz, Pastorini gets away, but now he goes down. It was Thomas Howard, the outside backer, number 52, blitzing. He started the problem, but Dino Mangiero, the rookie number 62, finished him off. The sack for the Kansas City Club. There's Thomas Howard. Great speed.
Kansas City is blitzing. They changed up their defense. They went to a man-to-man defense here. Dan didn't have much of a chance to find anyone. But he's better off holding on to the ball, Jay, and taking the loss than throwing it up.
Exactly, especially with 2 minutes left to go. Mangiero, the rookie, comes out. Parrish comes in, and the 2-minute warning is given. We'll be back with more from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City in a moment. Here in Kansas City.
The one I like best, though, Jay, is the arrow on the head. In case you forget where we are, the walking billboard.
We have 2 minutes to go in this first half. And Kansas City and Oakland, played so many dandies over the years, are tied at 7. 2nd down at the 32-yard line. 2nd and 27. Pastorini with a lot of time going to the far sideline. It is complete at the 49-yard line to Bobby Chandler. Chandler making a nice catch in front of the rookie, Paul Dombrowski, over there. Dombrowski, who played at Little Linfield College in Oregon. 3 interceptions in the preseason. Arnold Morgado, who's on the injured reserve list, found this fella.
Well, I think Oakland in the second half is going to work on this guy a lot more than they are now. If you find a guy who's a new player there, you have to go to work on him.
He did a nice job of coming back to the ball that time. Prevent defense for Kansas City. 3rd and 10. Incomplete, intended for Kenny King. King bothered a little bit on the coverage. Nice job by Whitney Paul along with Thomas Howard.
Kenny King played at Oklahoma. Didn't catch the ball very much there. And that's one of the problems he's had in training camp, is holding on to the ball. And Oakland's going to throw to their backs a lot.
Tonight on NBC, it's Mickey's Greatest Adventures on Disney's Wonderful World. And a T-Edge CB enthusiast holds the key to Officer Bonnie Clark's accident on chips. That's all tonight on NBC. Ray Guy ready to put it in play to J.T. Smith. Still time for Kansas City in this first half. 7-7 game. Another boomer from Guy. Into the end zone. Kansas City will get it at their own 20-yard line. And, Gene, they have 1 minute and 5 seconds in which to operate in this 7-7 game.
The way Kansas City has been playing, I don't think that they're going to put the ball in the air. I think they'll hold on to it, go in the locker room with the tied score, come back out in the second half and see what they can do.
There's a good look at Ray Guy. That punt just a moment ago of 51 yards. Tonight, you're going to see lots of glamour and surprises. The excitement of the 1980 Emmy Awards will be coming your way. It'll be exciting to see who shows up. That's all tonight on NBC. First down from the 20-yard line. And Fuller gets it out. Complete. Tony Reed at the 25. Dances up to the 28-yard line. A stop made by the rookie middle linebacker, Matt Millen, out of Penn State. Reggie Kinlaw, 62, also there. And timeout with 52 seconds remaining. The Chiefs with 2 timeouts remaining in this first half.
Well, Jay, they surprised me, and I think they surprised Oakland, too. I wasn't expecting them to throw the ball. Looks like they're going to try to get down in field goal range.
It'd be a great booster if they could get some points on the board before they go in at halftime. If you're just joining us, it was 94 degrees at kickoff. We figure about 115 degrees down on the field. The humidity at about 46%. An extremely warm day here. Tom Flores and his staff talking things over there with Nelson and Millen, the linebackers. Number 36, Mike Davis, the strong safety, trying to get their coverage the way they want it. And Fuller coming back in. Steve Fuller, 6 wins in 12 starts. Coming up at halftime, highlights and scores, and a very exciting opener, this 61st season of the NFL getting underway today around the nation. And it's 7-7 here as Kansas City and Oakland go at it. This series goes back to 1960. It's been an intense rivalry. There are Fuller's stats. Second down and 1, and for the first down, it is Ted McKnight, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock with 48 seconds remaining. Run out by Reggie Kinlaw. Pretty good move by McKnight.
McKnight makes an excellent effort to get out of bounds and save a timeout and stop the clock. Marvin Levy is showing a lot more creativity this year than he did last year, isn't he, Jay?
Well, yes. I think, Levy was with that situation where he was using the full house. He's gone more to the eye this year, and he's going to throw more with this club. He's opened it up a little bit more. He's got a young club. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Fuller stepping back over the middle, and he threw behind his intended receiver, J.T. Smith. Smith was in the clear down the seam at the 49-yard line, but the pass thrown behind the intended receiver.
This is the case of not having very much room to throw the ball. He threw the ball the only place he can put it, right between the linebackers. The problem is that Smith had gone past that point before the ball got there.
54% plus for Fuller last season. Second and 10. And the ball again almost taken away by Ted Hendricks. He does a remarkable job out there on the left side.
I think Ted Hendricks is smelling an interception today. Look at this.
You're right.
I can feel it. Look at that reach.
Hendricks is the defensive captain, and he's playing in his 159th consecutive game. Third and 10. Fuller over the middle and incomplete. He was going for J.T. Smith and overthrew him. Oh, the punting unit will come back on with 34 seconds remaining to be played in this first half. Score tied at 7. And it'll be interesting to see what Oakland and Dan Pastorini try to do with a little time remaining. They have all 3 of their timeouts left. The first downs are even at 7 apiece, and that's the score, 7-7. That's Matthews, ready to take it. Rupp will do the punting. Made the Kansas City club on his 3rd try, and a poor kick. Matthews at the 29. Steps through at the 35, and down he goes. Mike Williams, number 83, making the tackle. A 35-yard punt that time. Reminder again about next Sunday. Our coverage continues of league action. You'll see NFL 80, Bryant Gumbel, a man who really can bring you the up-to-the-minute news from the NFL. Then regional coverage, 12:30 Eastern Time. And these are the 3:30 Eastern Daylight Time games. Oakland and San Diego, Cincinnati, and Miami. Scores and highlights of this opening Sunday, all coming up at halftime. First down from the 36-yard line. Pastorini going to the air. Sets up a little screen. Van Egan outside at the 35, 40, 45. Over midfield. Van Egan all the way down the sideline. And out of bounds at the 28-yard line. M.L. Carter knocked him down. Quite a call, Gene Washington, and quite a play for Van Egan.
Out of bounds by M.L. Carter.
This is a super call. I was expecting to throw the ball downfield, more or less throw it up and see if someone could come up with a big catch. I think Kansas City was expecting the same thing, expecting the ball to be thrown downfield. Their linebackers get a deep drop.
Mickey
Good
Marvin
block here.
Yeah, look at 65, Mickey Marvin out there in front. First down, Oakland in a 7-7 game. 15 seconds left in this first half. The ball at the 27-yard line. Pitch comes back to Christensen. Halfback pass. No, he couldn't get it away. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. They call timeout. Gary Spaney made the stop. Whitney Paul also there. They tried the halfback pass, but he couldn't get it away.
And Bob Chandler was open in the end zone. Just didn't have an opportunity to throw the ball. Someone put their hand up in front of his face. Chandler coming in like he's going to block on the strong safety. He wants to throw right there, but he can't throw with the defender.
Christensen was a running back in college, a number 2 draft choice in Dallas in '78. He played a little tight end for Oakland. You know, an unusual thing about him, he snaps on punts. Now, how did a halfback and a tight end become a snapper on punts? I don't know, but he just picked it up, they say, fooling around with it. Pastorini, 10 out of 16, 149 yards. Gene, they're talking things over with 8 seconds remaining. First half, 7-7 game. At the moment on the field, both Morris Bradshaw and Bob Chandler are in there. King is out. Cliff Branch is on the field. Raymond Chester, 88, is out there. Now let's see what Tom Flores and his Raiders have up their sleeve. 2nd and 17 at the 34. Call with 3 seconds remaining. The Chiefs defense doing a job and doing it when they had to do it.
Ray Chester comes open on this play. The problem is Parrish makes a tremendous effort and gets Pastorini before he even gets to see Ray Chester break open. Chester can still fly in spite of the injuries he's had.
Chester with 43 career touchdowns and had 58 last year to lead the NFL tight ends. There's Marv Levy. He knows his offense has got to get better. He said the best way to help his team's defense is to help the offense. The offense was 27th in the NFL last season. The wing T offense, the full house, has gone by the boards. Kind of returned to the hangar for a while, you might say. Barr has got an attempt a 61-yard field goal with Bob Chandler holding. Chris Farr, well, he's got the leg to get it that far. It is on the way, and it is short. It was right on line, but it came up short, and that's the end of the first half.
We have, but I think the key is that Kansas City has not thrown the ball very well the first half. That's something they wanted to do this year. They haven't done a very good job, and I saw a tendency to go back to what they were doing best last year, and that's running the ball. And they didn't do a very good job of that in the second quarter, Jay.
All right, you see Fuller on the right, Pastorini on the left. Getty and Rudney, along with Arnold Morgado, all on the injured reserve list for the Kansas City Chiefs. We mentioned the problems with Sylvester. There's Fuller. 6 touchdowns, 14 interceptions in preseason play, as he was 29 of 41. Very brilliant young man, as we mentioned earlier in the telecast. He was a Rhodes Scholar candidate. Went to Clemson. Tom Flores, former Chief. He was here in 69 and 70. Also played at Buffalo. And he threw 6 touchdown passes in one game back in 63. I always remember that. There's Pastorini. Pastorini is 10 out of 16. At the top of the show, Gene, we talked about Fuller not throwing more than 20 times in a game. He's thrown 9 here in the first half as we get set for the second half action.
Kicking off for Kansas City.
Pastorini threw a couple of interceptions early in that game at Pittsburgh today, and or Stabler did, and Pastorini, on the other hand, has looked very sharp.
But I don't know if that's a fair comparison yet, Jay.
No, it's still a little early, I'm sure. The kickoff coming down. Matthews going to come out with it at the 10, the 15, and to the 20-yard line. And it is Jerry Reese, the safety, number 31, on the specialty unit, making the play. Pastorini, number 7 at quarterback. Kenny King, 33. Van Egan, 30, are the running backs. Branch, 21. Bob Chandler, 85. The wide receivers, Dave Casper, 87. The tight end. There the offensive situations for these Oakland Raiders. Dalby with Marvin and Upshaw, Sheldon Lawrence up front. First down from the 20-yard line. Second half underway. 7-7 game. Kenny King gets outside at the 30 and down the sideline, but he stepped out of bounds. They mark it at the 34-yard line. It'll be a first down. There you saw, Gene, the acceleration of this very, very talented second-year man from Oklahoma.
He shows outstanding speed getting to the outside here. The key is a good block on number 52 by Dave Casper. That's what makes this play go, Dave.
The trades for Oakland are looking rather good. Chandler from Buffalo, Pastorini from Houston in the Stabler deal, King from Houston in the Tatum deal. First and 10 at the 34-yard line. Pastorini going to put it up, throws outside, complete. And that is a catch that Bobby Chandler makes very well.
Bob Chandler.
Remind you a little bit maybe of Biletnikoff, except I think Chandler might be a better blocker.
Well, just about anyone would be a better blocker than Fred, but Fred caught a lot of passes. And in this situation, Chandler looks a lot like Fred. He goes up and he's able to keep both of his feet in bounds. He's an outstanding athlete.
Second down and 3 at the 41-yard line. Branch is set in the slot left this time, and the pitch comes to Van Egan. Swarmed over by Gary Spaney. Boy, Spaney doesn't look like a guy who's been fighting a terrible, terrible flu and virus. We get word from down below. We mentioned the injury to Gary Green in the first half, the left cornerback for the Chiefs. Green is out with a hip pointer. It is Dombrowski and Carter, 46 and 42. Barbaro, 26, Christopher, 41 in that secondary. There is Spaney, 59, working with Parrish, 61, Paul, 53, and Howard, 52. Still 67, Bell, 99, and Montemaliuna, 54. On 3rd and 2, Pastorini over the middle and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Dave Casper, And I think maybe I don't know whether he tried to throw this ball away or not, but he didn't get it anywhere near Casper as it was way wide right.
I think what happens is Casper has an option on this play. He can either go inside or outside. Dan obviously thought he was going outside and threw on the other side of the linebacker. But this is what we were talking about earlier. But Dan gets a little more time to know his receivers. He's going to be able to hit this pass.
Ray Guy will do the punting. 3 punts, 57 yards his longest, or his 63 his longest, 57 the average for him. J.T. Smith set to receive it. A wobbly kick. Smith is going to take it at the 13, the 15, at the 20, opened up at the 25, outside, and he almost broke it for more. Stop made by Wayne O'Shea, number 35, a 45-yard punt. Back with more action right after these messages. I know Mike. Fuller at quarterback, number 4. Reed 32 and McKnight 22 in the backfield. Handoff. Ted McKnight. McKnight getting outside and booms his way. Penalty marker goes down. He got to the 35. Burgess Owens, number 44, was there. Might have been a face masking call over there. We'll wait till referee Pat Haggerty tells us about it. He's talking to Burgess Owens. Kansas City offense. Fuller, Reed, and McKnight. Let's listen.
Number 44, face mask. First down.
That was the call. J.T. Smith, 86, a wide receiver now. Henry Marshall, Tony Samuels, a tight end. And up front, Charlie Ane playing for the injured Jack Rudney. Got Mike Williams in there, 83 now with Samuels, double tight end. Fuller throws to the near side, complete. That's J.T. Smith. First down at the 43-yard line. The tackle made by Mike Davis, the strong safety. J.T. Smith, 79 statistics. Smith, 5 career touchdowns, a free agent, formerly with the Redskins.
Smith has lots of room to run an out pattern here. I don't quite understand why Lester Hayes has given him so much room.
It seems to me that both secondaries today have been playing very soft.
That's true.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line. McKnight sweeping. Gets outside. Penalty flag down. Back at the 45-yard line. Tackle credited to Bob Nelson. Nelson out there along with Matt Millen, number 55. And the officials discussing it again. We're in the third quarter with 12:47 to play. 7-7 the score. J.T. Smith, you see him coming in with the play.
We have holding, number 60, offense.
Charged against Matt Herkenhoff. Jack Rudney and Matt Herkenhoff are the key offensive line performers for the Chiefs. But Rudney, who became the Chiefs' regular center during 70, when he replaced D.J. Holub, out of that lineup today. First and 20 from the 47. Fuller scrambles to the 45, to midfield, and down he goes. Very smart running. As he got it to the 47-yard line, Mike Davis, 36, wrapped him up.
We take a look at Henry Marshall going down. He comes into the open, but Fuller's not going to wait for him to get open. He likes to take that ball and run downfield. That's the thing that has worked so well for them in the preseason. As a matter of fact, he was a leading rusher on this club during the preseason, Jay.
He had that 23-yard end around for a touchdown at Oakland last year. Fuller holding on fairly back to the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by 72, John Matusak. There's Nick Lowry, the man that beat out Jan Stenerud. If you saw NFL, or that's Grupp, excuse me, Bob Grupp. Grupp, who beat out Gerald Wilson here. Two relatively new people doing the kicking. Grupp, who won the NFL punting title last year here, and Nick Lowry from Dartmouth, who beat out Jan Stenerud. 2nd and 15. Fuller steps up and goes down. Excellent pass rush. Cedric Hartman. He is the designated pass rusher, number 86, and you know a lot about this fellow.
I played with Cedric Hartman for 9 years at San Francisco, and he may be the fastest defensive end in football, and you can believe that he enjoys getting to the quarterback. The guys on the Oakland team, they can't believe that they were able to get Cedric. He brings a great pass rush, and he also brings a lot of experience to help out the younger guys.
Drop in punt formation for Kansas City.
11:19 to go, 3rd quarter. Krupp in punt formation. Ira Matthews sets the motor. Matthews, who went 104 yards last year, lets this one go, and it gets a Kansas City bounce, and then it goes into the end zone, and they will rule touchback. The impetus carries it in, and the Chiefs mishandled that one, a tough one, when it looked like they might be able to have Oakland operating from about the 5-yard line. Ed Beckman was down there. This is a tough one. That ball is not round.
We keep talking about the special teams and the effect that they have in a game. If they had downed this ball properly here, they'd have had Oakland backed up, and they would have stood a chance of getting the ball in decent field position themselves.
And that's a play they practice, batting that ball so they can get it down in there. 57-yard punt. Pastorini. He's gone all the way for the Raiders of Tom Flory. Pass is complete to Chandler. First down up at the 33-yard line. They're working on Paul Dombrowski. Chandler looking a lot like Freddie Biletnikoff out there, but Chandler, you know, Bob, the top receiver for 3 years at USC.
Bob Chandler is an outstanding athlete and has very good moves. Pastorini wanted to go to Branch first here. Chandler was a second receiver and came back to him late.
It's a first down at the 33-yard line with 10.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Chandler with 52 yards on 4 receptions. Pastorini got it away to Van Egan, but they're going to call him down. Now, that's the new rule that came in a year ago. They felt that they had stopped him well enough to call the play dead back there. That has been added in the recent years to protect the quarterback.
The result of that new rule, Jay, is that there have been fewer injuries to the quarterbacks. I think it's a good rule. Occasionally you'll have a situation like this where the quarterback will say, well, I could have gotten that play off. But I think overall it's a good rule.
The loss is back to the 23-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and about 19. Scores tied 7-7. Oakland and Kansas City. Throws on the run to Casper at the 36-yard line. And Casper tackled by Christopher and really banged by Thomas Howard, 52. They'll give the forward progress over the 35. Oh, what a tremendous tight end, Dave Casper, the former All-American from Notre Dame.
They throw into the bread and butter receiver, Dave Casper. Casper's not only a good athlete, but he has such size that he can shield a defender away from that ball.
Dave Lindstrom is now at right end for the Chiefs, number 71, spelling Mike Bell. 3rd and 7. Pastorini throwing. There he is again. Cliff Branch. Branch open on the left side in front of M.L. Carter. First down, and we've got an isolated view of Cliff Branch, who played his collegiate football at Boulder, Colorado.
Carter has Branch in a zone coverage. He's no match for him man-to-man. He gives him lots of room, but the key to this pass play is the protection by the Oakland offensive line.
Oakland with 12 new faces. Actually, let's see, 13 new faces on the 1980 squad, and only 2 rookies among those, so they've been doing a lot of work. First down at the 49. Penalty marker down. The throw is almost intercepted. They were going for Raymond Chester. He got his hands on it, and Gary Barbaro almost picked it off. There's Barbaro. 7 interceptions last year, 21 in his career from Little Nickel State. They're going to bring this back. 8:22 to go in the third quarter. 7-7 game.
Ray Chester went up awfully high with this pass. When Ray goes up with one like that and gets his hands on it, he usually comes down with it.
There's Marv Levy. His Chiefs play 5 of their first 7 against the West. Holding charged against Art Shell, the left tackle, number 78. Shell, one of the best, an all-pro 4 times. Now Rich Martini and Bob Chandler are the wide receivers. Martini, the second-year man from UC Davis. First and 20 at the 39. Pastorini way high. Bad throw that time as he was trying to go for Martini, who just came into the game. M.L. Carter back there on the coverage. Here's the passing arrangement for Oakland up to now. Branch has caught 3 for 47. Chandler 4 for 52. Casper 3 for 38. And Van Egan 3 for 42. That's spreading it out rather nicely, wouldn't you say?
He's mixing up his throws very well, Jay. On that last pass, though, Dan did something that the Cardinals sent for quarterback, and he didn't follow through on his throw, and that's why that ball fluttered at the end.
The Chiefs have the rookie Dino Mangerio in there at the nose position, number 62. Second and 20. Pastorini down the sidelines for Branch, and incomplete. He did not have possession when he went out of bounds. And Pastorini took a real shot back downfield from Art Still. Branch, going for the ball over his shoulder, did not have possession when he ran out of the white line.
Branch makes a good effort here, Jay, just to get to the ball.
And he never had it. The officials right on top of the play. Third down coming. Branch moving back into the huddle. 81 Morris Bradshaw's in there now with him, and Raymond Chester, 88, the tight end. Third down, 20. Mike Bell back in at right end to replace Dave Lindstrom, 71, for the Chiefs. Pastorini going and completing it beautifully to Morris Bradshaw. Bradshaw going down and cutting to the far sideline, making the catch in front of the rookie Dombrowski.
Dombrowski's a guy that the Raiders are going to want to work on. Bradshaw runs a corner pattern here. Pastorini makes a good throw, a long throw to the sideline. Good catch by Bradshaw. Makes sure he comes down with his feet inside.
Bradshaw played in only 3 games in 79 because of injuries. He had 40 catches in 78. They're happy to have him back. First down, 36-yard line. Pastorini going for Cliff Branch. Oh! He made a little stop-and-go move down there and had a chance to catch it and couldn't hold it. M.L. Carter was there with him, but that was a pretty nifty move by Cliff Branch.
What happened is that Pastorini dropped back. He faked the screen off to his left. Branch was going downfield, pretending like it was going to be a screen play, and then he put on his feet.
Almost made it on the comeback.
He almost made an outstanding catch, but he never really fooled the defensive back.
Pastorini now is 15 of 25, 217 yards. Second down and 10. Whittington in the backfield now, 22 with Van Egan, 30. Martini, 89. Bradshaw, 81, the wide receivers. Going downfield for Chandler. Actually had 3 wide receivers in there, Bradshaw, Chandler, and Martini that time. Dombrowski on the coverage. Clock stopped with 7:51 remaining. We're in the third period. The score 7-7.
Pastorini picked up the blitz. He audible on that play. And that's why he was able to throw the ball downfield. Almost connected on that.
Dave Casper today has passed the 3,000-yard mark in receiving. And Bob Chandler has passed the 4,000-yard mark. Prevent defense for Kansas City, but they look like they're coming. Pastorini gets it away downfield and overthrows. For a while, there was no one covering out here on the near side until Herb Christopher got over to stick with Bradshaw. Now it's punting time for the Oakland Raiders with 7:47 remaining to be played. Third quarter. Ray Guy today has punted during his NFL career for more than 4 miles. I'm sure somebody who keeps track of that kind of thing is really happy to know that. There is Ray Guy. Played at Southern Mississippi.
Hey, let the clock run down.
Coming for the sidelines here on the near side, and the officials will have to decide. And they're ruling touchback. It was close. They lined it up at about the 1 and then moved into the end zone. Touchback. And timeout. 7:41 to play in the third quarter. Kansas City and Oakland still tied up at 7. With Gene Washington, Jay Randolph. Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium. That's not me, is it? That's her. First down coming at the 20-yard line for Kansas City. Play action. Fuller trying to run. Goes down. Loss of about 3. Some scores of games going on around the National Football League. Baltimore leading the Jets. Richard Todd has just scored at 8:10 of the third period to get the Jets into that game, 14-7. And in the Denver-Philadelphia game, Philadelphia now leading 20-0. Franklin has just kicked a 32-yard field goal. They're in the third quarter. San Diego 24-6 over Seattle. Fouts has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Detroit and L.A. tied up at 20. Second and 12. Pass complete. Ted McKnight. The ball bounds away, and it will be ruled an incomplete pass. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KRON TV, Channel 4, San Francisco.
Gene Washington and Jay Randolph with you. Arrowhead Stadium, 7-7 the score. All of the scoring in the first half. We're in the third quarter with 7:03 left to go. It is third down and 12 at the 18-yard line for the Chiefs. Steve Fuller hands it off to McKnight. McKnight at the 25. Close to the first down near the 30-yard line. Jeff Barnes, the linebacker, 56, made the stop just about a yard short. Oh, the Chiefs will have to give it up. Some of the fans don't like this decision, Gene, but there's lots and lots of time. You don't want to go for it down that close.
There's plenty of time left, and I think Kansas City's probably going to go back to what they've done best, and that's running the ball.
6:28 left in the third quarter. 7-7 game. Bob Grupp averaging 45 yards per punt. Ira Matthews is downfield. Gathers it in at the 26. Matthews looking for help over the 30 and boomed back at that point. A 43-yard punt. Timeout here. The score tied. Pittsburgh 31-17 over Houston. New England 34-17 over Cleveland. Buffalo got by Miami 17-7. Tampa Bay 17. Cincinnati 12. First down at the 31-yard line. Oakland Raiders. Dan Pastorini gives it over to Arthur Whittington. And Whittington getting to about the 33-yard line. Wrapped up there by Art Still, 67. 62. Mangiero also there.
Art Steele makes the big play here. Runs directly into the runner. But Art Steele at 6'7" is going to come out of the best of that inning.
A lot of action in the trenches as usual. That's Van Egan. Van Egan getting across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Mangiero makes the tackle. Mangiero played at Rutgers, a free agent. The Chiefs let him go, number 62, at the time of the cut down to 50, and brought him back last Wednesday. Some other finals: St. Louis beaten by New York, 41-35. Minnesota, a 1-point victory over Atlanta, 24-23. San Francisco, 26-23 over New Orleans. And Chicago got by Green Bay, 12-6. Those are the finals. 3rd and 3 at the 38. Pastorini, quick out, complete, first down, Morris Bradshaw. Tackle made by Dombrowski. They continue to work on the rookie over there.
Tackled by Dombrowski.
It's just a quick out pattern to Bradshaw, about 6 yards, stop. Pastorini makes a quick throw. I think Oakland is concerned with field position here, Jay. That's going to become very important. Even if they don't go in for a touchdown, they can back them up.
4.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bradshaw played at Ohio State. 2 wide receivers set to the left side this time. Pastorini has time, lots of time, and throws poorly. Trying to go to Bradshaw, who was very well covered by Whitney Paul. Gary Spaney also back there on the coverage with Carter. Clock stopped with 4:15 remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. Oakland, from 1965 to 79, and Chicago from 1930 to 44 share the professional football record for consecutive winning seasons at 15. Dallas had 14 consecutive winning seasons, 66 to 79. Eric Harrison, the extra defensive back for Kansas City, and a penalty marker is down. And is the catch good or not? It went to Casper. One official, now they have waved it off. I thought it was an incomplete pass. One of the officials ruled it complete. Casper, the great tight end.
Casper runs the same route here he ran before. He gets open. Throw is a little low. Usually Dave comes up with those.
And he did not have possession. A very fine call. Incomplete pass. Let's listen to the referee, Pat Haggerty.
Holding, 78, decline, 3rd down.
Holding charged against Art Shell, the 13-year veteran from Maryland Eastern Shore. That's refused, and it'll be 3rd down and 10. Fuller, Clemens, and Kenny, 3 quarterbacks. It's Fuller who's gone all the way. Pastorini going long down the sideline, completes it. Arthur Whittington at the 5, down to the 3. Arthur Whittington on the run. The number 7 draft choice. And he had 661 yards back in 78. That was the most ever by a rookie for the Raiders. What a play. Whittington making a tremendous catch on a remarkable throw from Pastorini.
That's what you'd like to do, Jay, is get a fast running back isolated on a linebacker, just like this. Pastorini threw the ball in the right place, the only place that it could be caught.
There's a very happy Arthur Whittington, played at SMU. As a junior, he was second to Tony Dorsett in all-purpose rushing in the NCAA. All right, 1st and goal to go at about the 2.5-yard line. Van Egan, no. Van Egan is rejected. Spaney. Harris came up. In under the pile. They still unwrap. 52, Howard. 54, Monomaliuna. And the ball at the 1-yard line. Oakland trying to get the tiebreaker here. 3:12 remaining. They go again to Van Egan. Touchdown, Oakland. Mark Van Egan. With 3:01 remaining in the third quarter, the Raiders have taken the lead here for the first time this afternoon. Van Egan banging in, being congratulated there. Chris Barr now doing the placement work for Tom Flory's Raiders. He was 40 of 42 last year in extra points. And that is up, and it is good. Coming up after this commercial message, an update from Bryant Gumbel in New York. 14. And here we go with Ray Guy kicking off in Oakland in the lead. That's Earl Gant coming up the sideline past the 20 to about the 25 or 26-yard line. The Jets down 14-7, as you just saw a few moments ago. Bryant Gumbel showing you that touchdown from Richard Todd. Quite a battle there, quite a battle here. 14-7 Oakland. Bryant Gumbel you'll be seeing, of course, on NBC, on the Today program in the morning, as well as each Sunday on NFL 80. There was the drive a moment ago. Van Egan scoring to break the tie. 2:51 to go, third quarter. Kansas City, 1st and 10 from the 26. Fuller's got loads of time. Now throws complete to tight end Tony Samuel. Took it in at the 33-yard line. Ted Hendricks covering over there.
It's interesting to see Kansas City coming out throwing the ball, even though they're behind by 7. I think with a young quarterback, you're behind. He may press a little bit. We could see a rout if he starts putting that ball up.
He was well poised that time as he had to scramble and finally decided to go to one of the short men. A pickup of 8, 2nd down and 2. That's Ted McKnight. And now a little shoving going on down there, but Browning 73 and Nelson 51 make the stop. It is close to a first down. We might have a measurement. It would be the first measurement of the game, I think, if we get it. Ed Beckman coming into the lineup for the Chiefs. It is not close enough to measure. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Oakland Raiders leading Kansas City 14-7. Triple tight end arrangement and the handoff to McKnight. And I think he got the first down before Monty Jackson came up to shock him. Good defense there by Monty Jackson and Matt Millen, the rookie.
Matt Millen, another one of those Penn State linebackers, makes a good hit here.
Another in a long, long line of Penn State linebackers that have played brilliantly in the pros. They really have turned them out at Mount Nittany. First down at the 38-yard line. 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tony Reed, like he took a little stutter step and his leg went out from underneath him. Ted Hendricks on the tackle. The Kansas City-Oakland game certainly was once one of the league's showcase games. There's Lowry now doing the kicking here for Kansas City. Replaced Jan Stenerud, as I'm sure many of you know. Stenerud featured today on the New Faces segment on NFL 80. 2nd and 9. The throw over the middle and intercepted. Coming back with it is Matt Millen. Millen got some help, and he comes up with the interception. Matuzak put on the pressure, and right there is what Kansas City did not want to happen, and you mentioned it might a few moments ago, Gene.
That's right, Jay. What really made this play, though, is Oakland played very tight man-to-man defense. Fuller had nowhere to go with the ball, but he put it up. trying to get back into the game, and this is the result.
Millen's been very impressive. He reminds people of Bill Berge. He's a little bit in that kind of a mold.
Seems as though all those Penn State linebackers are in that mold.
A big turnover in this game with 47 seconds remaining to be played, third quarter.
47 seconds.
Matt Millen, the interception.
You think Oakland will go for it all here?
They might. It's nice to be able to strike quickly after the turnover. Pastorini going down the sideline, and it is a touchdown. The catch made down the sideline by Bob Chandler, and what a superb throw by Pastorini. Dante put that one on consignment.
Fantastic throw, fantastic catch, and they beat the $1 million back from Canada, Bobby Chandler. They were blitzing. Pastorini picked up the blitz, made a beautiful high arching throw. Chandler was able to run under it.
They beat Harris, who played up in the CFL, had 13 interceptions in 3 seasons up there. Chandler's caught 5 for 84 yards. 2 touchdowns. Barr with Chandler holding. Up and good. Let's take a look at this pass again. You folks in the Oakland area and Raider fans, I'm sure will enjoy it. It was a great one.
Kansas.
Oakland takes the lead, 21-7. Back with downfield, Carson at the 20, 25, up to the 28-yard line. Carlos Carson on the return. Ray Guy kicked off, and the stop made by Guy with some help from Rod Martin, number 53. We've got 30 seconds exactly remaining to be played in this third quarter, and the Chiefs are down 2 touchdowns, 21-7. I have to say this at this point in the proceedings. Pastorini has looked brilliant here this afternoon in his first game for Oakland.
He's looked super, and that's the mark of a spirit for everything.
Fuller on first down, looking, throwing, and intercepted. Coming back with it is Lester Hayes. Hayes, the 4-year man, certainly one of the best cornerbacks, 7 interceptions last season, and the faithful here are hooting and hollering.
Lester Hayes is one of the best cornerbacks in football. Should have made All-Pro last year. But I mentioned earlier, Jay, this is not the time to panic. I don't think Kansas City should come out trying to get back in the game all of a sudden.
Pretty good
Ball's
job.
deflected. But this is the case of forcing the ball, Jay. You know, you want to get back in the game too quickly. I think they have plenty of time, an entire quarter to go.
2 turnovers in 17 seconds. Pastorini again at the controls. Just went off the field. Van Egan down to the 30-yard line. Whitney Paul wrapping him up. There's Fuller. And he certainly tried to force that last one, as you mentioned, Gene. But when you're behind for 2 touchdowns, sometimes you have to come out of that game plan, although there was a lot of time. That is the end of the third quarter. And here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the score: Oakland 21, Kansas City 7. We go to the 4th and final period here at Arrowhead Stadium. Marv Levy's got to be upset. He's just watched his young quarterback, Fuller, throw 2 interceptions in a period of 17 seconds. Oakland. And Gene, they want to get something out of this turnover. It's 2nd and 4 at the 30.
I think they're thinking field goal.
Van Egan getting the call. Getting down to about the 27-yard line. Art Still, 67, making the tackle. The Jets in Baltimore tied 14-14. Darrell Ray has recovered a fumble and gone 75 yards to tie that one up with 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Philadelphia 20-3 over Denver. Fred Steinfort has kicked the 37-yard field goal. Harold Carmichael caught a pass. That's 113 consecutive games for him. 3rd and 1. Van Egan got the first down. Manamaliuna made the tackle, the linebacker. San Diego putting it on Seattle, 31-6. Fouts has thrown for 4 touchdown passes in that game. A couple of them to Charlie Joyner. Boy, is he blessed with some great receivers. And L.A. and Detroit. Look at this. The Lions. A couple of touchdowns from Billy Sims. Dexter Bussey has just scored from 15 yards out. 6:20 left in the third period. That's Kenny King. And King battles his way until Manamaliuna makes the play. The gain to the 23-yard line. The clock is running with 13:30 to go. Oakland has it the way they want it right now. Into the lineup, Dino Mangero, the rookie from Rutgers, the nose man, replacing Don Parrish. This crowd of better than 54,000 sitting in very quiet here as their Chiefs are down 21-7. Blitz. Pastorini reads it, throws, but couldn't get it to anybody. He was hoping that Branch would go to the flag, I think, and he cut in over there, Gene.
I think what happened is that Cliff missed the audible. They had a free safety blitz. Pastorini audible. Branch ran the original pass play. I think he just blew it.
12:59 remaining to be played. We're in the fourth and final period with 7 and 7 at half. The Oakland Raiders now leading at 21-7. 20-6 Philadelphia. Denver has just kicked the field goal in that game at Philadelphia. Now the officials call a time. Timeout. 12:59 to play. Oakland leads it 21-7. In Los Angeles, Billy Sims has scored his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. Detroit 34, LA 20. 4:14 to go in that game.
I know they're sky high in Detroit.
Oh boy. 3rd and 9 at the 23-yard line. Pastorini throwing and almost intercepted. Herb Christopher, the strong safety, cutting in front of Raymond Chester, almost picked it away. And we're going to get the field goal kicking unit coming on.
I'm sure when Dan went to the sideline, Flores said, don't make a mistake. If you have something, get it, but don't turn it over here. We need the 3 points.
Came close to making a mistake, though.
That's right.
The field goal try for Chris Barr.
Barr to attempt the field goal. Candler holds it.
Barr, of course, 79 points last year. Cut in Cincinnati. Picked up from the 31, a 41-yard attempt. It is up, and it is good. Barr picked up. Jim Breach let go. They said Barr had better range, and they wanted him here. Timeout with Oakland leading 24-7. Ray Guy. Guy sends it on the way. Carlos Carson at the goal line. Carson out of LSU. Hurdles up over the 20. Gets to about the 22-yard line. Tackle made by Todd Christensen, number 46. And Kansas City down 24-7 with 12:41 to go. Well, Pastorini has had himself a great day. A lot of credit must go, too, to this Raider defense. The rookie Matt Millen has been passing his test very well. Gene Washington?
That's right. Let's give a lot of credit to Oakland's offensive line.
1st and 10 from the 22. Fuller throwing and complete. Tony Reed out at the 30-yard line. Hit by Jeff Barnes, number 56. Reed headed back into the huddle. Kansas City's got a lot of time, but they've got a lot of work to do.
Being this far ahead, Oakland is going to play like it's a 2-minute time period. They're going to give them a lot of room. They don't want to have a ball thrown over their head. And in a situation like this, the club can move down the field fairly quickly.
First downs, Raiders with 18, the Chiefs with 10. 24-7 Raiders. 2nd and 2 at the 30-yard line. McKnight on the near sideline, cuts it up over the 35. And a good block from Tony Reed. Dave Browning, 73 on the tackle. McKnight shaken up just a little bit, getting up slowly. Picked up the first down at the 38-yard line. Next week, the Raiders will play the Chargers in San Diego. San Diego winning at Seattle today. And Oakland has the Skins in the home opener on the 21st. That'll be a big ball game. There's still tickets remaining as you look at Dante Pastorini over there, talking things over on the phones. Fuller going long, complete. J.T. Smith on the far sideline, hit by Lester Hayes, number 37. Give you an idea of what kind of a day Pastorini's had in case you're just joining us. He has really had a splendid, splendid day. 18 of 34, 2 touchdowns to Bobby Chandler. On the other side, Stabler, 24 of 42, 196 yards, and 5 interceptions. No TDs. Reed on a little delay inside the 45. Reggie Kinlaw, 62, making the tackle. So Pastorini, the young man who went to Santa Clara, born in Sonora, California, went to Bellarmine Prep in San Jose, having a big day for the Oakland Raiders. There are Fuller's stats. Those 2 interceptions came in a period of 17 seconds on the clock and changed this game. On 2nd and 6, Fuller throws, incomplete. Going for Reed, coverage by Ted Hendricks over there. Reed getting up slowly. The Chiefs look a bit more tired than do the Raiders at this point. Maybe the score on the board has something to do with that, Gene.
I think that has a lot to do with it. They've had the wind taken out of their sails a little bit. They were very pumped up for this ball game. I think they're obviously disappointed.
Speaking of wind out of your sails, we had a shot of a hot air balloon overhead. 3rd and 6. Fuller has time, got a man downfield. Henry Marshall at the 6-yard line. Marshall, the former Missouri star who wears Otis Taylor's old number 89. Burgess Owens on the coverage, good throw.
Type of play that can get you back in the game. Runs a beautiful corner pattern. Comes down about 12 yards, goes to the inside like he's running a post pattern, and breaks back to the corner. Great route.
There's a interesting stat on Marshall. 23 per catch in preseason. The ball at the 6. 1st and goal to go, Kansas City. 9:55 to play. 24-7. Oakland, Reed and McKnight in the backfield. Handoff going to McKnight. McKnight dragged down along the 5-yard line by linebacker Bob Nelson. Also, Burgess Owens was there. 37, Lester Hayes helping out. Excellent defense by that Oakland club, jamming it up in there, Gene.
Hendricks makes a great play here. Now the psychology comes into play, Jay. If Kansas City scores and they kick off, and if they come down like a club that wants to win this football game, the whole momentum can change. It's going to be very important what happens in these next few plays.
Clock running with 9:25 to go. 2nd and goal. That's Tony Reed, and not much there. But Tusak wrapped him up at about the 4. on the first 2 tries at running in for the touchdown, about a yard each time for Kansas City. And Fuller wants to call a timeout and does now with 9:02 remaining. Rushing yardage, Kansas City 100, Oakland 68 in the game. It was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. 14 big points for the Raiders in the third and a field goal in the fourth, 24-7. We're going to take time out. The Raiders are in the lead. 24 to score here. McKnight scored first for Kansas City, then Pastorini to Chandler to make it 7-7. That was the score at halftime. Van Egan and then Pastorini to Chandler to make it 21-7 at the end of the third. Barr kicked a 41-yard field goal, 24-7, and Kansas City trying to get back on the board. The pass, Tony Samuels. Steve Fuller to Tony Samuels, and the folks here at Arrowhead and the Chiefs back in business. Fuller called timeout, talked things over. They obviously thought that play would work, Gene, and it did.
So the thing that they wanted to do there was to make sure that they didn't throw a dangerous pass, because if they didn't complete the pass, they needed to come away with at least 3 points. By getting to 6 points, now they're back in the ball game.
Fuller will hold for Nick Lowry, a first-year man from Dartmouth, the new placement man here. Both clubs with 2 field goal and point-after kickers. It's up and it's good. Timeout. 8:54 remaining. 10-point difference. Oakland leads at 24-14. The 4-yard touchdown pass, and it is 24-14. Lowry ready to kick it off. Matthews and Whittington are back. Hello there, young lady. Kansas City still in it. Big test coming for their defense. Arthur Whittington over the 5, 10, 15. Gets to about the 19 or 20-yard line. Popping down on him was Stan Rome, number 87. Thursday at 8 Eastern, games people play. I hope you've seen this show. It's a lot of fun. Franco Harris and Mike Adamley will handle a tug of war. And then Ryan Gumbel and famed attorney F. Lee Bailey report from the Federal Correctional Facility at Alderson, West Virginia. They've got an obstacle race between the women inmates and members of the prison staff. The Stun of the Week feature and a bus jump hosted by racing star Cale Yarborough. All that and more. Games people play. Thursday night at 8 on NBC. Mark Van Egan. He gets to about the 25, stopped by Mangerio. Let's let you look at that touchdown a moment ago for Kansas City. Gene Washington describing the action.
Samuels, who watched Samuels fake the block down. Now he releases. Davis loses him. Good throw from Fuller. And this play gets them back in the ball game.
Kansas City offense, they want to get back in the game. It is 2nd and 3 at the 27. Handoff going to Kenny King. And King over the 30 gets the first down. And now Oakland will try to run that football and run the clock. Gary Barbaro made the tackle, number 26, the strong safety. As you look at Pastorini, who's had a great afternoon, Baltimore leads the Jets 17-14. Steve Mickemeyer has just kicked a field goal, 25 yards, 7:05 left in the fourth quarter. Baltimore and the New York Jets in a dandy. 7.5 to play here, 24-14. The visitors from Oakland have the lead. Pastorini calls on King, and down he goes. A loss of about a yard. Thomas Howard, 52, and Herb Christopher, 41, were there to make the play.
This is a key series for Oakland. They came out after being scored on, Kansas City getting back into the ball game, and what do? That offensive line moved Kansas City back. They were blocked up this time, but this is the key series. If they can move the ball, I think they'll go ahead and win the game. If Kansas City can shut them off here, they'll be sky high again.
Tom Flores, 15 years with the Raiders as a player, a coach. His second year as head coach. good protection, throws incomplete. He was intending for Cliff Branch. Excellent coverage by M.L. Carter along the sideline over there. You got to look at the linebacker, Gary Spaney, trying to get in there that time at Pastorini, and Oakland doing a good job.
Well, they will blitz one of their linebackers on each play. Pastorini had lots of time, but no one open, and he just threw it away. Wise move.
We mentioned earlier that Spaney is out there playing after a battle with viral pneumonia. Top tackler in '79, went to Manhattan High School. Manhattan, Kansas, the home of the Kansas State Wildcats. 3rd and 10 at the 33. Big play here. Out it comes on the screen to Van Egan. Cuts it back and goes down short of the first down as Gary Spaney made the hit along with Art Still. So, Oakland will have to give it up with 6:21 to go as we look at it again.
This is a good call, Jay. It's not a dangerous play. You may come up with your first down and keep the drive alive. If you don't have a turnover. I think that's the key. What Oakland needs here is a big punt from Ray Guy.
Shaken up is Mark Van Egan. He's up and all right. Well, that heat has got to be tough for them, although it seems to cooled off just a little bit. Manamaliuna down there, number 54. Great job he did for this club in his first year last year. Played at San Jose State. Went to UCLA earlier. Van Egan coming off. George Anderson and Rod Martin. The training corps for the Raiders. Guy is in punt formation. 50.7 average today. A very good day indeed. Coming back off the back problems and looking sharp. High hanger. J.T. Smith is downfield. And he takes it inside the 5. You have to wonder about that. He gets it out to the 10. I wonder if he shouldn't have let the ball go. I think the rule is you let it go inside the 10.
That's a cardinal rule for a punt returner. Anytime you get inside your own 10, you let the ball bounce and go into the end zone.
Derek Jensen, 31 on the tackle, 56-yard punt. Next Sunday, kick off an exciting day of football with us on NBC. NFL Lady with Bryant Gumbel. Then most of you see the Steelers battle the Colts, so the Raiders take on San Diego, plus those other regional games. NBC proudly brings you Week 2 of the NFL football season next Sunday. Check your local listings for the game to be seen in your area. Fuller on first down, deep in his own territory. Barely back to the line of scrimmage. An outstanding play by Dave Browning, number 73, who reacted quickly when Fuller tried to run and made a fine tackle.
I think Fuller was really looking to run on this play. I think what he wants to do is drop back like he's going to throw the ball and see if he can gain 20 yards or so up the middle.
Word on Mark Van Egan, who was shaken up a little while ago. He had a little cut on his head, apparently. Nothing serious. Second down, about 10 again. Over the middle, complete. Catch by McKnight. At the 17-yard line, hit immediately by Matt Millen. Millen showing his good quickness there. Philadelphia 27, Denver 6. 14:55 left in the fourth quarter. Ron Jaworski, another touchdown pass. That is his third of the afternoon. This one to John Spagnola, and it's 27-6 Philadelphia over Denver. Gary Barbaro, outstanding defensive back. Hardman now 86. Matusak 72 are at the ends for the pass rushing. Here's Fuller scrambling. Got the first down at the 24-yard line. Good move. Ted Hendricks 83 on the tackle. Clock running with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go.
Fuller wanted to throw the ball here, but Cedric Hardman made a good rush. Gets his hand up. Watch this. There. Keeps him from throwing the ball. But Fuller uses his excellent speed and is able to pick up the first down.
Got the first down, but the clock continues to roll. Fuller In trouble. Whammo. Bob Nelson, 51. He ran right into him. 3:33 to go.
But who do you think caused that problem? Cedric Hardman.
Well, they've got Cedric in there now because it's obvious that Kansas City is going to be throwing. There's the situation, 24-14. Made him take a move that ran him right into Nelson there. Second down and 20 from the 14-yard line. The Chiefs need something quickly. Hardman almost got in. Penalty marker is down. Fuller still going at the 20, out to the 21-yard line. Might be holding against Kansas City. I'll tell you, Hardman was a gang coming in there.
No doubt about it.
Captain.
It is holding. That offensive tackle cannot handle.
Defensive captain. All right. All right, it'll be 30. Take him back. Okay.
We got a chance to listen to referee Pat Haggerty. Left his mic open here.
All right, now we're on the 14. We're going to go to the 7.5. 7 and an inch. Okay, well, it's number 70 hold. Holding, number 70, offense.
Turned it off and turned it back on because all the referees know that the on position is up. That's what they know.
But I was going to say is that offensive tackle cannot handle Cedric Hardman. They're going to have to double team Cedric if they're going to get any time to throw it off.
That's a former Oakland draft choice, Jim Rourke, number 70. Pass comes out to Reed. Reed up the sideline, hurdles over the 15-yard line, did not get out of bounds. The clock running. Bob Nelson making the play. Very impressive show by this Oakland defensive unit. They'll give you the short pass right here in the short yardage. They just want to prevent the bomb. And they're not giving Fuller enough time, really, to throw the bomb. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to be played. A long way to go. A lot of the faithful, though, have left with a score 24-14. Fuller throwing down the middle and intercepted. Coming back with it. Otis McKinney. McKinney down the far sideline. Third interception of the second half. Picked off by this Oakland club. J.T. Thomas was the intended receiver. The ball was tipped. And Otis McKinney came up with it. Well, Fuller throws his third interception. All of them coming in the second half. 2 of them came within a span of 17 seconds.
That was a poorly thrown ball, Jay. He missed his receiver by a long shot. But this is the way a young guy learns. He's going to learn from making mistakes like this, and maybe later on in the season he won't do it again.
An old friend of mine used to tell me you learn to fail intelligently. Well, Otis McKinney comes up with it, the third-year man from Colorado. And now, 2:03 remaining. And the folks are really pouring out Arrowhead Stadium. And Pastorini is still there, handing it off to Arthur Whittington, the third-year man from SMU, who made a great catch earlier in this game down the sideline.
Thank you for coming to Arrowhead.
Gary Spady, number 59, and Dino Mangiero on the tackle. We're going to take a timeout as the 2-minute warning is given. Oakland leading at 24. Still taking a few pictures, though. Hope our listeners have enjoyed the pictures, the sights and sounds of the NFL this afternoon. 24-14. Oakland, 2nd and 8, 25-yard line after the turnover. Handoff going to Derek Jensen, who is in the backfield now, number 31. He was on the injured reserve in 78. There's some frustrating looks. Frankie Smith right there. Matt Herkenhoff. Whittington 22 and Jensen 31 now in that backfield for the Oakland Raiders. 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining, and Kansas City calling for a timeout. It's been a very impressive show for the Oakland Raiders here in the second half. 7-7 at halftime. And I think we could say that, Gene, either offensively or defensively. Certainly both units have looked very sharp. Here are the final scores of the day. Pittsburgh 31-17 over Houston. New England 34-17 over Cleveland. Buffalo, a big win, 17-7 over Miami. As you look at a man who's got to be a little upset, Marv Levy. His club 7-9 last year. They play Seattle here, the Seahawks, going against the Chargers in the Kingdome today, and the Chargers really putting it on the Seahawks. Tampa Bay 17-12 over Cincinnati. The Giants 41-35, getting past St. Louis. A 1-point victory for Minnesota, 24-23 over Atlanta. San Francisco 26-23 over New Orleans. Folks in the Bay Area got a lot to be happy about at the moment on this opening day.
They sure do. San Francisco winning and L.A. losing.
And of course these Oakland Raiders, not in L.A., but in Oakland. Green Bay 12-6 over Chicago. That's a final. 3rd and 4 at the 21-yard line. Pastorini, play action fake, going down and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Martini and add a little insult to injury here late in the game if he could.
He sure surprised me. I didn't think he put the ball in the air at all. Pastorini's had an outstanding day.
And I think he has really been the catalyst for this fine performance. Some of the so-called experts were saying this Oakland team might not finish any better than dead last in the division, but this has been a very impressive show on the road in this heat this afternoon.
It has, but with that offensive line that they have, they're not going to be dead last in the division. You can count on it.
Barr will try a field goal from the 39 or 29. It'll be a 39-yarder. And it's on the way, and his foot looks very strong indeed. Picked him up because he has better range than Breach. And he boots the field goal to make it 27-14 with 1:25 remaining. Diego now 31-6 over Seattle in the fourth, and Detroit 34-20 over Los Angeles. And Billy Sims has opened up, I guess, like a Heisman Trophy winner should. 3 touchdowns in that game.
Well, if Billy Sims is able to do for Detroit what Walter Payton has been able to do for Chicago, Detroit could win that division. As I said before, again, Gary Danielson is an outstanding passer, and he's going to be heard from.
Yeah, they're happy to have him back. He was injured in the final preseason game a year ago. This series goes back to 1960, an intense rivalry. The Raiders with a win will have won 23, lost 16, and tied 2. Kansas City swept both games last year. Oh, a little revenge for Oakland. Barr is kicking off this time. A swift kick coming down. Picked up by Earl Gant. For a moment, he lost it. It goes out of bounds. Kansas City's football. Well, it's been that kind of a day of frustration for the Kansas City Chiefs, certainly in the second half. As you look at Marv Levy, his 3rd year here.
I think Kansas City has made more mistakes on special teams in this game than they probably did all last season. And it's showing.
Yeah, what really turned it around were the 2 interceptions in a period of 17 seconds, and Oakland took advantage of it. A lot of folks, of course, have left here. We had better than 54,000. They're heading home, getting ready to watch NBC tonight. Coverage, of course, of the Emmys highlighting this evening. Clock showing 1:09 remaining. Pass to Gant. Bob Nelson on the coverage. Next week, the Chiefs playing Seattle here, and the Raiders have a tough assignment. They handled a tough one today. They'll head into San Diego to play the Chargers. A year ago, Oakland down the Rams 24-17 in Los Angeles. In Kansas City, shut out Baltimore 14-0 here. A disappointed bunch of Chiefs. Fuller still in there. Penalty marker goes down. Fuller running, trying to get something going. And the pass is complete to Henry Marshall on the sidelines. Well, we'll see what the call is. Holding against Kansas City again. There's the big guy, Mike Bell. Played under Sarkis.
Those offensive tackles hate to be in these situations.
You talked about the way the offensive line of Oakland has played today. They really have done an excellent job. They've been much stronger. That pass to Earl Gant out at the 22-yard line. Ted Hendricks, 83, on the stop. There was a key man today, Dan Pastorini. I don't know how you could have a better debut. He did just about everything that was asked of him today, did Pastorini. He really hung tough. Don't forget, next Sunday, lots of action for you. One of the big games will have the Steelers battling Baltimore, and the Raiders, of course, and the San Diego Chargers. 48 seconds remaining to be played. Very academic at this point. The pass out of the backfield to Earl Gant. Gant gets out of bounds at the 31-yard line to stop the clock with 41 seconds remaining. Mr. Washington, how do you like it up here in the booth?
I think this
the hitting isn't too fierce. Fuller steps up, throws. It's complete to Earl Gant, and Gant spins out to about the 35-yard line. Clock rolling. Ted Hendricks making the stop. John Gonzalez has directed the picture. Gentlemen that they would have liked to have had in there to handle things in the offensive line at center. Rudney along with Getty and Arnold Morgan. False start charged against Jim Rourke. Rourke originally a number 9 pick at Oakland. San Diego 34, Seattle 19. That's the final. 16 seconds remaining. 27-14, Oakland. Has underthrown, and we had a little bumping, and now we've got a little fisticuffs, and the penalty marker goes down. Willie Jones into it, along with Tom Condon. We've not had an interference call in this game today, I don't believe, which is unusual at the first of the season.
It's very unusual.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, both sides. Third down.
So it'll be an unsportsmanlike call against Condon and Willie Jones, and they'll mark it at the 30-yard line with 11 seconds remaining to be played. Pittsburgh winning at home, New England winning at home, Buffalo winning at home, Tampa winning on the road, the Giants winning on the road, San Francisco winning on the road. Quite a day. Fuller throws. It is complete. That is Henry Marshall turning it up at the 45 to the 47-yard line. 2 seconds, 1 second. It is all over.